In this video, we're going to listen to a funny example of a woman venting about her job. But when you listen to what she actually wants to do for her career, it doesn't sound like she wants another job. It sounds like she wants to just be pretty and travel, right? It doesn't feel like she wants a job. She wants a man to pay for her lifestyle and do that rather than focus on a career that works for her. Let's listen to a funny venting here.
I just want to get paid to look pretty and travel the world, and to maybe interview some people. I feel like I would be a really good interviewer. I've been told that I ask very good questions and I can get interpersonal with people and deductive reasoning skills. So I feel like I could get some good information out of some people. Maybe I should be a spy. Black Widow type, but without all the violence. I don't think I'd be good at that. I don't want to have to in combat. That's not for me. But the intelligence part, where I can get information out of people, I really think that I could do that well. But I want to just travel the world and look pretty. When people ask what my dream job is, traveling around the world looking pretty, and then just talking to people and understanding them. That's what I want to do. So if anyone has any job recommendations that fits that job description for me, please let me know in the comments. And if you're someone who's also struggling with your career, did I mention I was 26? I'm 26 years old and I have no idea what I want to do with my life. And I think that the pressures from society that we place on people when you're 17, 18 years old entering college, where it's like, you have to make a decision right now that's going to define the rest of your life, that's insane. Hey, why are we making 17 and 18-year-olds pick what they want to do up until they're 65, 80 years old? That's kind of weird. In Europe, people are in school until they're like 30. Because they're deciding things out, they're figuring things out, they're working on their education, they're working on their skills. Here in America, oh, you're old enough to be a legal adult, get into the workforce, but also you still can't drink yet. You also still can't rent a car. That's crazy. The fact that you can legally drink before you can rent a car, that's weird. I can drive a car, but I can't rent it. The backward ass country that we live in, which is why I hate it here. I hate it here. If you're also struggling with your current career path or deciding what you want to do for the rest of your life, welcome, because that's every day of my life. So you're not alone. So if this helped even one person feel a little bit less alone, yay for us. That was supposed to be uplifting, and then I realized that that's kind of sad. I have no form of advice to give except you're not alone. Who cares? I'm 26 years old living in America. The rest of us are all depressed and anxious. Hello! Welcome to the political climate. Alright, well, I'm gonna sign off now.
So before we go into the background, which we're going to learn a bit more about her in a moment, right? I just want to go through this in a bit of detail, right? What does she want to do for a job? She wants to be paid to look pretty and travel the world, right? And how can you be paid to look pretty and travel the world? You can work as a model, an international model. You can be a housewife of a rich guy. You can be a trophy wife for a rich guy. You can be a sugar baby with a sugar daddy in different locations that will pay to fly you out, to sleep with them, to spend the weekend with them. This is the thing, right? A lot of women, not all of them, of course, but sometimes women in the corporate environment, they think it's all about the image. They want the image. They want the social status that comes with the job. And you see it in some of these movies and TV shows about corporate jobs. It's that's what women see when they see the corporate job, the image, the social status, traveling, going on client meetings and client drinks and being in high class environments, right? Exclusive nightclubs, exclusive locations, that people can be hanging out with rich people. But that's what they think the corporate work is, but it does involve a lot of work. If you want to work and travel, you can be a consultant. But if you're a management consultant, you're going to be working a lot. You're going to go back to your hotel room after your client meetings and be writing and typing a lot of notes and trying to figure out how you can help the client. It's kind of dysfunctional. Some people think it's so exciting to be working a job where you're traveling all the time. No, you're going to go back to your hotel room, open up your work laptop with some snacks and work late into the evening typing up things. And you might not even have like good ergonomic desk set up in your little hotel. Even if it's a nice hotel, it'd be a bit awkward. So these are the things that people don't really consider, right? And then when she says she's good at interviewing, she has good people skills when it comes to asking questions. She's 26. She doesn't really know her skill set. She doesn't know what she wants in life. She doesn't really know who she is. And that's kind of a red flag to be 25, 26 and not have that figured out, at least to a better extent than this. Of course, we're always growing, thinking about life differently, who we are. We change our personality types over time slightly. But she is stuck in this position, not being able to figure it out. And it's a bit crazy, to be honest. Many corporate managers are like this woman. I've dealt with women who are like this, who are my managers, who are a lot older, in their 30s and their 40s and things like that, completely erratic. Now, the thing is, imagine having to work with people like this. There's many people like this. There's many HR contacts like this, people who could get you fired, people who are responsible for choosing whether you should be interviewed to be hired for a particular job role. Now, imagine you have to work with people like this. It will be quite common because there is a bias towards hiring and promoting this specific demographic, the AWFL, affluent white female liberal, right? So they're completely entitled, they're insufferable, everything's about their whirlwind of emotions, their emotional roller coaster, a day out, I need this, I want this, I don't have this, I'm not happy enough, dealing with an insufferable housewife, but you're dealing with them as your manager or your co-worker, right? Now, in this case, she's blaming society, the political climate for her emotions. There's no personal accountability, right? Girl boss kryptonite is accountability, right? She doesn't seem to have that. She's really looking for a man to provide some guidance for her in her life, right? I think it's fair that the point she makes towards the end, where you can't expect college students or people when they're 18 to 20 to figure out what they want to do for the rest of their life through their college or university studies. I think you should have a rough idea what you want to do early on. You want to be picking something you're interested in and something you can build as a profitable skill. So if you're interested in technical skills and you can make money coding, then maybe you should combine those two interests, in the sense that one is you're interested in technical skills, and secondly, coding pays well, so you could go into that as your degree, for example, right? These technical skills are quite important, but the whole idea is you've got to have a general idea early on, and then over time the idea solidifies and you pivot your career as time goes on. What is the market demanding in your industry, and what skills do you have an interest in developing? It's always a balance between the two. It's not always, oh, what do I like, right? Because what do I personally like to do? I like to go for a walk in nature, right? But that doesn't pay the bills. I do have some technical skills, I have good communication skills. I leverage that as my job as a self-employed career coach. Now, you might have different skills, but the whole point, you've got to figure it out. She's expecting someone else to point her in the right direction when she should have a bit more solid foundation of understanding of who she is. Those are the type of things to consider. Now, let's go to another clip of her and get some backstory.
I'm 6 years old and I have no idea what I want to do with my life. I want to be very transparent. Rarely ever post these to the internet, so if you are seeing this, welcome to my inner thoughts and demons. It's so fun here. We're having such a blast, as you can tell. I'm currently in the middle of doing a job transition, or attempting to do one. I'm still at my old current job, but I'm just not having any job satisfaction in it. I definitely think that my skills and talents could be put to better use. What that is, I don't really know. Hence the tears. I've spoken to quite a few different people. It's just hard. I wish that I could just have a crystal ball that tells me exactly what I'm supposed to do. I've never really been under the impression that having a job is fun, because would I rather be laying on the beach drinking pineapple juice? I would much rather be exploring and traveling the world than working. I'm definitely someone who believes more in the European ideology, where it's work to live, where in America it's very much so live to work. And I do not live to work. I don't. Like, not to cue the Kim Kardashian sound of, seems like no one wants to work anymore. I don't. Now, if I'm going to work, I want it to be meaningful. I want it to do something. I want to be able to make an impact. I want to be able to do something with value. What that is, I don't know. I get to LinkedIn and I'm like, I don't even know what to search up anymore. I don't know what to search up. And my background is so weird. I have a background in psych and I have a master's in communications. And I want to work in environmentalism. I want to do something, because God, this world's on fire, literally. And it's a floating rock that is just heading for mass destruction. And I want to do everything in my power to make sure that that doesn't happen. Obviously, is that very realistic? I have no idea, probably not. I have so much job anxiety. I hate not knowing what I want my career to look like. And I hate the fact that I hate my job. I want to be able to love my job. I want to be able to say what I'm doing proudly. When people ask what my job is now, I'm embarrassed to tell them. I shouldn't be embarrassed to tell someone what my job is. I should be proud. I should be excited to tell people what I do for work. And instead, let's not discuss that. New topic. Change. Thank you. And it's not like I have a bad job. I have a good job. It's not what I want to do. I hate that. And I hate not knowing. I'm a control freak and I'm type A. And I'm a woman. It's very unsettling for me to not know what I want. That triggered me. Did I just have a meeting?
So, as you can see, I can't even listen to these type of people for too long. The point I'm trying to make here is you need to save her, bro. One of you guys in my audience, you need to step up. You need to wipe away her tears. She's crying on the internet. She wants someone to care about her woes. The crystal ball, she says she wants a crystal ball to tell her what to do. What she really means is she wants a strong male leader to guide her, to take her by the hand, softly grab her hand and guide her, babysit her, dog walk her through life as a polite leader, right? She could have an easy life with a relationship with a wealthy guy. She can be the trad wife in the wheat field that I see a lot of these guys, these trad cons are looking for. She said she has a degree in psychology and communications. Again, not the best educational option. She's probably convinced into doing that by what would be the popular or the safe or the liberal or the hip degree to do. She doesn't seem to know what she wants to do. She wants a career in environmentalism. Again, the brainwashed liberal, the climate agenda comes in again. She will be on psych med soon. She's the type of people who are mentally unstable. They're brainwashed step by step. They act like they have all the right opinions and they're telling you what to believe. They call you a misogynist or a climate denier or whatever nonsense because you can think for yourself. You didn't follow all the rules in 2020 when all that hoax happened, so you don't believe everything about history and things like that. You're not someone who's easily brainwashed, so they'll think you're the problem. But these are the type of people who are completely mentally unstable, who don't know what they're doing in life, who are set up in HR, who are set up in management roles, who are propped up by weak men, middle-aged men who will quickly give her an easy corporate job and she'll be the popular one and very baby coddled and given special treatment to push her into a middle management role where she has a safe, high-paying six-figure role for the rest of her life. I've seen this type of thing quite common. Is I've worked with people literally like this, almost looking exactly like this. Early in my career, some of the European investment banks I won't mention, but I'm sure you can guess. So these type of things are kind of ridiculous. She's 26 years old. She should know what she wants more than what she's currently saying right now. Life is constantly about discovery and change, but this is a bit too much of a red flag of not knowing what she wants, right? You should analyze yourself, analyze the industry you're in, analyze the world you're in, and figure out what your skills and talents are and how you can add that to the workplace environment. She says she believes more in the European ideology of working to live rather than living to work, right? Americans are all about work culture. European culture is more about living than working. I think that's a bit oversimplified. In America, yes, you can work a lot more, but you get paid a lot more and you pay a lot less tax. In Europe, you pay more tax, you get paid less, and still there's the same issues. People struggling to buy a property to live in, people always renting, and these are the type of problems you see in America or in Europe. In Europe, you have more accessibility to live a chill life without buying a car. You can walk anywhere you want to walk. In America, it's a car dependent culture. You have to drive everywhere, even to go to the gym or the grocery store. It's just better in other countries outside America where you can walk to the grocery store, walk to the gym, walk to wherever you want to walk. Now, there are always trade-offs there, right? This idea that I see some Americans, I mentioned in a recent video also, you have the perception that Europe is this perfect place to live. No, it has issues too. You have mass migration, smaller homes, less freedom of speech. You have free healthcare, but it's not necessarily high quality healthcare, increasing social tensions, things like that. It's always a trade-off. I would say if you're in America, you're in the best place position to make as much money as you can and then maybe retire early. I know people who make a lot of money as Americans and then they buy a property or get a visa or residency in countries like Portugal or Spain to live a chill life. Now, if you don't want to work, you can always find a wealthy partner. Like I say, she could find a rich simp husband and Hopefully they're not in my audience, but I'm sure there's some rich simps out there that wouldn't mind being a husband, and she could get to work as a trophy wife, and they can basically set up an arrangement where she lives a chill, easy life and he works to pay for her living cost, right? If she wants social status and emotional fulfillment, that comes from the reassurance in a relationship rather than a corporate career. Now, if she wants to focus on her career, she should figure out what she has an interest in and develop niche skills in that to get paid more as an expert in her field, right? At 26, if she really was motivated to get involved in the climate agenda and being an environmental activist, she could have easily got into an NGO. She could have easily got into some kind of environmental charity and maybe work for a lower wage before she can make more money. Maybe working for a bank in one of their ESG departments, where supposedly banks are now the vanguard and the front line of taking care of the environment with this carbon credit nonsense. She could maybe go and get a high paying job there. These are the type of things that you've got to consider. But I don't think she wants a job. I think she wants a man or someone else to pay for her to live a chill life, while she says she wants to be pretty and travel the world. Here it says, refusing to drink the corporate Kool-Aid, half of Gen Zers would turn down a job that doesn't align with their beliefs. More than 53% of Gen Zers would reject a job if the employer's mission didn't line up with their political values. If they feel the company's stated values were not in accordance with their own beliefs, they would maybe not work for that company. That's what it's saying here. The deeper you dive, oh no, sometimes the companies that seem good don't have a good morale fit. A lot of places you would think would be a kind and safe environment, in another way they could be unethical. It's really difficult to keep crossing off jobs because they don't feel ethical or they feel quite unethical. So this article is just saying that people like this woman, right, in a sense, they're so focused on what matches my emotional needs. Is it kind? Is it a caring environment? Do they have the right political opinions? And you're not going to find things like that. And even a lot of these NGOs and charities are quite corrupt. They're involved in things they say they're stopping, they're money laundering and things like that. So it's the wrong approach to go and think you're going to work for a corporation that aligns with your personal political beliefs or ideology about the climate. It's just not going to be very realistic. Corporations are here to make money and to exercise control, not appeal to your emotions or ideological values. That's what a family's for. That's what a community's for. That's what a political party's for, right? She seems to be brainwashed to be this activist for all these different agendas, right? I think a couple of years ago she'd be a diehard BLM supporter. Now she's going to be a diehard climate change activist. It's that personality type. It's the liberal left-wing type. They just jump on whatever the latest trend is. You know, what next is she going to be holding up a sign saying refugees welcome? That's the type of dynamic you're dealing with here. And this is what I mean. You have to deal with a lot of these people. These people decide when they work in HR whether you can get a job at a company or not. These are very difficult personalities to deal with. And the level of entitlement here is off the chain, because most men, and you can see it from other videos I've covered recently, most men are thinking about minimalism. Most men are thinking, oh, let me buy a house in a rural location and build my own house. Maybe buy land and build my own house. Or they're thinking, oh, I'll knuckle down and I'll get a small 1-bedroom or studio apartment in a city. I'll focus on my corporate job or my low-paying retail job, whatever that would be, but I'll make the best of my life in my small apartment, right? I'll play video games. I might do music production. I'll live a low cost of living lifestyle, maybe not have a wife and kids, but that's just not in the cards for me given where the economy is and where society is, but I'll make the best of my life. And she's has the opposite attitude. I deserve this. I deserve to just be able to be pretty and travel the world. And why don't I get this? I deserve this. That's the whole undertone here. It's not like I'm going to work for this. I'm going to achieve this. I'm going to put in some time and effort to make it work. That's the approach men are taking in these difficult times. But then you've got these entitled holes and they get special treatment in corporate environments. Yeah, and there's going to be a man who's going to be the simp, right? There's going to be a simp husband. There's going to be a beta orbiter at work. There's going to be someone who's going to give, some guy out there is going to give an easy ride in the workplace, in a personal life, and then she'll be fine. And then we're going to pretend like we have gender equality in this world. But anyway, that's an interesting case study. Now, I have 10 years experience. I know what it's like to graft. I know what it's like to actually achieve things in life and not focus just on the lifestyle aspects of it. If you want to build income, build power, build options, you want real freedom, you're not going to depend on a sugar daddy. You're not going to be at work thinking you're going to get special treatment on the basis of your gender and they're going to take care of your emotions, It all starts with mastering your career. I work with ambitious people who want to win in the system and not escape with delusions. And that's what I teach. I have experience working at these companies here like Goldman's, successful job applications at KPMG, Citadel, and many other top companies. I have career coaching, link in description. I'll help you secure a promotion faster. I'll help you land your dream career, maximize your time freedom, maximize your financial freedom through making more money, saving it, and investing it effectively. Also, I have a free mailbox money newsletter twice a week, Monday or Friday, and you'll get free tips sent straight to your inbox, which will really help your career and not be the type of garbage you see from this particular individual. Now, that brings me on to my fifth and final point, which is in the course that I have, link in description. It will help you learn through this course of how to master office politics, and you're going to have to deal with people like this. You can't put on this weak act that she's getting away with here. If you're in the corporate environment, you want to ensure you can show strength instead of seeking approval. You want to lead with patient power and assertive clarity. You want to avoid approval-seeking softness. Weakness usually hides behind a mask of virtue. And she's focusing all these big goals she has: virtue, saving the environment, caring about people's mental health, things like this. It's really weakness. It's really like she wants to prop up her own weakness by getting an easy life. Now, if you know that you're going to have to work to survive, to live a good life, you want to be strong and masculine rather than weak in this sense. There is a course that can help you with this, and the link is in description. I'll be happy to help. Let me know what you think in the comments about this particular individual. I'll be very interested to see what you think. 2 recommended videos on your screen right now, and I'll see you next time.